What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back, and we got a special guest. Dylan, you want to introduce our star guest today?
Man, the one and only one of the OGs, man. Played together at Link Academy. Went on to play at UNCG, Cincinnati. One of the goats, man. Jarrett Hensley, former, actually current pro right now. Getting money overseas in Poland. Jarrett, good to have you on, man.
And appreciate y'all. Thank you for having me. Big fan of the show, and
Yes, sir.
I'm excited for this.
I think my first question for you, Jerry, is like, how much college basketball do you watch being overseas?
Yeah, it's funny. Like my career kind of in college, I didn't really watch it at all, honestly, just because I don't know if you guys experience this, but just like going through it every day, you kind of just get sick of it, I would say. But this year, my first year out of it, bro, I watched like every game. I'm a Big 12 kind of guru guy. So I watched a ton of Big 12, Big 10, and the Missouri Valley. Yeah, I've been locked in this year though. So it's been a great season.
Yeah, I would say I don't know about you. Dill. I think has always been watching it. I feel like I've always
Yeah,
watched
yeah,
it
yeah,
a ton, but we've really locked in this year doing the podcast. We're big into Big 12, Big 10, SEC stuff like that.
for
So
sure.
let's jump right into it. A little shake up in the top four, top five, as you would expect, with all the 1,
Man.
3, 2, 4 matchups. Dill, I'll start with you. What'd you think of the Duke Michigan game?
Steve, I think in the TikTok, correct me if I'm wrong. I think in the TikTok I said Duke by 4, and that was a almost Duke 4-point win. I knew it was going to
Yeah,
be one of
yeah.
the best games of the year. Obviously, it was fantastic game. Every game I watch of Duke, I'm just like, how does anybody beat this team? Literally, how does anybody beat Duke? The John Shire is a mastermind, and Steve, we said it since the beginning of the year. They might not have the most raw talent, but they have the best pieces that fit exactly what they need. I thought it was a really good game. Steve, did you see the post game interview with Yaxel after the game?
Yeah, for a little bit, I kind of thought it was AI for a second. The way he was reacting, I was
Yeah,
like, "This is weird." But yeah, I definitely thought this was an eye-opening game, especially for prospect related like draft boards and stuff like that with Cam Boozer. I mean, he slowly, like, me and you, we're both haters of Cam Boozer. I don't know about Jarrett. We're Cam Boozer haters,
sure.
Yeah.
and
I've turned a little bit,
yeah,
honestly.
and see the same. Like I think we're me and Dill both have started. You've seen him to start
Yeah.
to rise in our draft boards just because we just can't deny like him putting up numbers like you putting up 20 and 10 and 5
Sure,
against the best front court in
sure.
the country. Um, yeah, I don't know what else you can even say about that, but yeah, great win for Duke there, neutral floor. Let's go to the other game. Jarrett, what'd you think of the Arizona Houston game?
Man, great game. Arizona, man, they're legit. Houston does not lose at home. They don't lose twice in a row. Yeah, crazy game. Bradley hit a clutch shot at the end of the game. So it was a great game, and just an impressive win for sure.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there with Houston. Like I felt like going into that game, you're right. Like they don't lose two in a row, especially
No,
under Kelvin Sampson, and it was like it made me think of even about tonight's game, like in Allen Fieldhouse. It was like I definitely don't want to go against a Houston team that's lost two in a row, no matter where. But they're
yeah,
playing and they're playing at Kansas. Like that's as tough as a place you can play. Definitely will be an interesting game. Um, Great win for. Let's give a little love to Iowa State, man. Like we talked about them earlier about in previous ones about how they had that rough week losing at Kansas, at Cincinnati, bounced back with five in a row, then lost at TCU, then got two great back-to-back wins, Kansas and Houston, but then they dropped one to BYU, a hurt BYU team. We'll get into them a little later. Dylan, do you think this team has like national championship like low? I mean, I obviously think they have like Final Four potential, but do you actually think they have a chance to win it all?
Good question, Steve. Like it's funny. I think that Final Four is pretty much locked. Like not that they're not saying that they could go to the Final Four, or not saying they will, but they definitely could. Like they have the pieces. They're old. We love an old team. I don't love the way they shoot free throws. They're not a great free throw shooting team, but yeah, I mean this team is legit. They're very solid. But I think of the top echelon of teams, and I think we all think the top echelon of teams. Like, do we think Iowa State is really like top echelon, like top S tier, whatever you want to call it. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think they're missing maybe a bona fide superstar. I know Joshua Jefferson is really good, but I just think that they're missing some NBA level talent. When's the last time that a team won an NCAA tournament without an NBA talent level guy? Even like Zach Edey, like even for Purdue, like he's not like a killer in the NBA, but he's still a solid NBA player. So I don't know, man. I don't think that they're a true contender for the championship game. I would not be surprised if they somehow finagled their way in there, though.
Yep, I think that's a good take. Switching over to Houston a little bit. Houston's one of me and Dill's favorite teams. Jarrett, like two back-to-back losses. Tough stretch for them at Iowa State, home against Arizona, and then got Kansas tonight. You worried a little bit at all about Kansas or my bad, about Houston?
Honestly, the Kansas game tonight, I am a little bit. I do think they will win, but I think it's going to be a great game. But in the long term, no. I just worry a little bit about their ability to close. I don't know what you guys think. I don't think they have like a bona fide closer per se. That worries me. And then during the game, I noticed that they kind of go on scoring droughts for like a long time, like 8 minute scoring drought, 6 minute scoring drought. And it's like, I don't know, that kind of bothers me, like in a tournament game, like they kind of lose their mojo during like a lower seed. But no, for sure, I'm a big believer in Houston. Kelvin Sampson's one of my favorite coaches, and I can't wait for this game tonight. It's going to be a great game.
Yeah, I agree with you. And with those scoring droughts, especially for like,
Yeah.
I just think I told Dill this when we were watching their game against Iowa State, and then I saw it again against Arizona. Like, man, like offensively, like they just don't really like run much like throughout the game. Like, obviously they
Yeah.
get a couple of quick hitters now and then, but like their flow offense is so stagnant.
Mhm.
Like, I think it really hinders like their ability to like get downhill and penetrate for others. It's a lot of just dribble weaving like 6 feet off the line, not really putting pressure on the
Mhm.
defense. So I told Dill about that when I was watching the game. Like I was, especially against Iowa State, who, going back to what we were talking about them, like I think Iowa State defensively definitely has the possibility to win a national
Yeah,
championship.
yeah.
And man, like they
For
were just
sure.
sitting in the gaps. They weren't letting them drive by. And I mean, obviously you get the occasional sharp three, who's on three, whoever just shooting 6 feet off the line. But yeah, it will definitely be interesting to see them in March Madness if they get stagnant offensively. Going down to let's go to UConn. Dill. I know we talk about UConn a lot. I want to hear your opinion. They lost at St. John's in Madison Square Garden. Tough loss at home to Creighton, a bad Creighton team. They got St. John's. Let's see. Today's Monday. They got them on Wednesday at home. I know we talked about it a little bit earlier. You said you're worried about or about UConn. You still worried? Like you still think they're down that two line, or are they going down?
Yeah, Steve, I'm not right much. I'm not right much, but I will say that I think I am right about this UConn team. They're worrying me a little bit. Their advanced stats are not great. And the loss of Creighton, man, it's funny. Like everybody's harping on Gonzaga for that Portland loss, like how bad of the loss that was. But like, dude, this Creighton loss, not as bad as the Portland loss, but like that's still a very bad loss. Like this UConn team is not one of these teams that I think they're in that upper echelon, like we talked about with Iowa State. I think that they're a tier below. Again, kind of going off of what Jarrett said, like I don't think this UConn team has a closer. I really don't. Like I think Solo Ball is good. I don't think he's great. Like if my season's on the line and I'm giving the ball to Solo Ball, I'm shaky at best. Like I'm like this could go south really quick. So yeah, dude, I don't know. I think this St. John's next game against St. John's is almost a must win for them. If they don't win this game against St. John's, they haven't had a ranked win. They've only had one ranked win in the past 2.5 months since Florida, and that was away at Seton Hall. So I don't know, Steve. I am worried about the Huskies. They need to win this game for
I
sure. They need
I
to win.
disagree with you just a little bit, Dill. Thinking about the trio, even like the forward guards, like they got Braylon Mullins, they got Malachi Smith, they got Silas Demery Jr. I'm big on Silas Demery Jr. Like I definitely think they have pieces, guys that have proven they can take over down the stretch late in the season at their previous schools. I think it's just a matter of like when it all comes together for them from the guard perspective.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying they don't have pieces. I do think they have pieces. I think the Houston team has
No,
pieces
I'm
too.
saying they're like I meant to say like they have potential closers. Like all four of those guys can be closers for them.
Okay, so here's a question for you. Would you rather have Kingston Flemings or any of your? You can have the pick of the litter at UConn to
I
make a
mean, I'll
game winning
obviously
shot.
rather have the top five pick guy.
Okay, okay, it's just
For like
hypothetical.
clutchness or like
Okay,
just
shot down the line.
overall?
Shot down the line. You're down 1 point. You got to get the ball to either Kingston Flemings or anybody on the UConn team.
I don't know. I probably would say Kingston
I don't,
Fleming's
I
just
don't, I
like his
don't.
ability to get in the lane. Like maybe I wouldn't trust him to take a jumper, maybe like a three,
Yeah.
but you know.
Yeah, that's a good question. Great question.
Anyways, go down to 7, 8, 9. Florida, Purdue, Gonzaga, Jarrett. Man, out of those three teams, which team do you like the most out of those three teams headed into their respective conference tournaments and eventually
Hmm.
into March Madness?
Really, really like Florida, man. Was big on them at the beginning of the year. Their guards kind of struggled a little bit. I've been keeping up with what you guys have been saying about like Boogie Fland and Xavier Lee. I watched them their last game. Who was that against? Yeah, Mississippi. Um, their front court is very, very good. They're solid. Just need their guards to pick it up a little bit, but I think they're going to be very scary when March comes around. And Purdue, um, I was really big on Purdue at the beginning of the year. I think I'm kind of off them a little bit, so we'll see about them. But yeah, that's what I say.
Yeah. Um, yeah, Dill, what's your take on that?
Yeah, Purdue defensively has been a letdown for sure. I think that they
Yeah.
had a really high ceiling at the beginning of the year in terms of defense, especially with Trey and Ren there, and they just had a really good front court. And I think they let down defensively. So I'm not a big fan of Purdue. I think Florida's peaking at the right time. And then Gonzaga. My issue with Gonzaga is I just think that they need Huff back. I think Huff is a game changer for them. So him being out it has really hurt them. I think once he comes back, if they somehow sneak to a 3 seed like that low, dude, that might be like a sneaky Final Four pick that not many people have because they're a 3 seed. I mean, there's obviously people will have them, but just like if they're a 3 seed and Huff comes back at the right time, they could get really scary.
Yeah.
Would
Let's get,
also oh, add to if they can get Lawyer and Trey Kaufman-Renn like really consistent throughout the later part of the year, they're going to be really scary. But we'll see about that.
yeah, I think the thing with my take with Purdue is like they're always a solid team, but like they're just got a cap ceiling. Like we just know what we're gonna get out of them.
Yeah, good point.
Like at their best, like all their best three players together playing at their best. Like it's just not going to be the same level as some of these teams ranked above them. Like the
Good
potential
point,
that
Steve.
they
Yeah,
have. So like
I agree.
they may sneak out a game against Florida or UConn or Houston or whoever. But over the course of 10 games, I'm taking the other team 80% of the time. So,
Yeah.
um, Dill, I want to hear what you have to say about Virginia because I think we've kind of not necessarily slept on them a little bit, but man, like they're 24-3. They're like this is a good team. They play Duke at Duke at the end of this week or next week or something like that. Like definitely a team that could even compete for the ACC title at this point.
Steve, I honestly feel bad. I feel like we've talked about Virginia maybe twice the entire year on this channel. A team that's top 30 in both offense and defense in Ken Palm. Um, just a team. I mean, they're hot. They're peaking at the right time. Like I said earlier, 7 wins in a row. Actually, 8 wins in a row if you count the Ohio State game that was not a conference game. They play fast, and we're not used to that as a Virginia team. They play a lot faster. They've scored in 100 points in multiple games this year, which is just like something that you don't see out of this Virginia team. They're a fun team, man. They have some young guys. DeRitter has been really good for them. Like a freshman, a super, super, super old freshman. I think he's like 22 years old, but he's been fun. And Malik Thomas has been really fun too. They're a good team. I wouldn't be surprised if they can make some noise in the ACC tournament. Steve, do I think they're better than Duke? No, obviously not. Do I think they're better than UNC? Probably not with Caleb Wilson. So yeah, we're looking at maybe the third or fourth best team in that conference. So they can make some noise. I could see it 100%.
That's an interesting take. Too. I definitely think that they're the bona fide number two team in the ACC at this point. I think it's pretty clear. I think that, even if they could squeak out a game at Duke, I think they
Yeah.
could go a long way. So that will definitely be interesting. Let me go back to Jarrett on this one. Nebraska, man, what is going on with this Nebraska team? Like, I feel like I can't really like put my thumb on like what
Mhm.
to think of this team. Like, they don't really have a bona fide like NBA player. They don't have that
Yeah.
standout guy who's going to take over down the stretch. But they're 24-3, and
Yeah.
they went 21-0, 22-0 up to one point.
Yeah.
Um, and like they're just a solid team. Like they take care of business. Their
Mhm.
four losses against three top 10
Right.
teams and a good
Really good
Iowa
teams.
team.
Right. Yeah, they got him. Ken Palm got has him going 4-0 to finish out the year. But yeah, I'm not a really like big believer in their size either. That like kind of worries me. I love what like Mast brings to their offense. They kind of remind me of like I guess like a high major Miami of Ohio, like just super fluid offense, a lot of threes. But I don't know, man. If they get the wrong matchup in March, it's
Hmm.
gonna be tough. Their size definitely worries me for sure.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. Matchup is going to be everything for them compared to
Mhm.
some other teams that it may not matter. Um, yeah, and we'll get into Miami, Ohio in a second. I definitely want to hear your take on that. Um, Dill, man, Kansas down 6 spots. I feel like we just talked about them last week about their like rise up, with their win streak. Good ranked wins. I think they were on an 8 game win streak, beating Arizona at home. Everything looked amazing. They get blown out at Iowa State, win at Oklahoma State, lose probably their worst one of the year against Cincinnati. Um,
Sir.
Less about the team. I kind of want to just let's just open up the floor to both of y'all about Darren Peterson. Like,
Right.
what's y'all's take on what's going on? I honestly am just befuddled. Like, I don't know what to think about what is going on. He just came out with the interview with the ESPN guy saying like, if I could be out there, I would. But I don't even know
Right.
what to think at this point.
Yeah. DP is an issue for them. It's really hard for a team with a guy this good of a player to be in and out of the lineup so much. I feel like it really hurts the continuity of like who's playing well at certain points. I think Melvin Council has been as solid as he could be for them, and kind of been a rock where they've needed a rock because DP has not been that. I had DP consistently number two across the board, even considering number one. I am much more inclined at putting Peterson at number four as my fourth favorite freshman of this group than I am number one. That's how low I am on him currently. Because his peaks have not been as good as I thought they would have been, at least in the last month or so. He showed really, really big flashes earlier in the season. I'm just starting to worry about him, Steve. I'm really, really starting to worry about him.
Well, I'll let Jarrett do that. My counterpoint to that was like I'm thinking back like even like 6 games ago, BYU game. Like that's not that long ago, BYU game where he had 22 points in the first half, and we thought he was like the next LeBron James coming out, like just scoring at will. Like when all the questions were coming up, and then he just answered it with a game like that. Um, yeah, let me hear what Jarrett has to say first, but.
Yeah. I watched that whole Kansas game. Obviously I went to Cincy, so like I still keep up with them. But I think one thing that like I feel too, like just looking on Twitter and looking what people say about him, like I think it is the norm, no matter what he does, to kind of blame Darren Peterson. Like there's a picture, I don't know if you guys have seen, it's like him, like the team is
Mhm.
huddled up and then he's walking and they're like, oh, like this picture like speaks 1,000 words. And it's literally like, bro, he just subbed and he's walking towards his teammates. So like I don't know. I just feel like, yeah, I don't agree with some of the stuff that's happened, but I think now it's kind of just like, okay, bro, like he played 32 minutes. Like I mean, he looked pretty solid. I mean, I don't know, but as far as KU goes, I am worried about their size for sure. I talked to D about this. I love Tiller, I love Badunga, but after that, I mean, I think it gets really, really scary for them. Like if somebody goes in foul trouble or they're just not playing well, I mean, since he just literally bullied them down low. So I think that's something they're gonna have to address as well.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think the this game with the Cincinnati, maybe this game was the outlier, or they play an Arizona team who is second in the country in points in the paint, and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
they
I do not know how they won that game.
they
Yeah, that's
competed in that
crazy.
game, so I don't know which is the outlier in that, but
Yeah,
I think hearing both sides of you, I think can there be a little truth in both sides with Darren Peterson that
for
like
sure.
I think that's really the case in how I'm feeling about it now. Like there's a side of me that is like, all right, like he I agree with what Jarrett's saying with like like you gotta see all the context. But then on the other side is like, all right, you just played 32 minutes this last game. Like, why are you like not playing because you got the flu? Like, I mean, you're the number one pick. You're supposed to be a dog. Like, you should be like on the bench with an ice pack like MJ was. Like, if you really are like
Yeah,
that, and I think that's really what it comes down to nowadays is like it's rare when you get like a dog mentality out of a good player like this anymore. And
right.
I wouldn't necessarily say AJ is a dog, but like at least I feel like AJ's like all in like basketball, and
Yeah.
he's just like he's all about it. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
seem like Darren Peterson is like that like about it.
I
So
and I agree with like everything that Dill is saying too. I just feel like if he's not the number one pick, I think it'll have nothing to do with anything he's done on the court. It's going to be everything that he's not done, like how he's been doing this. And I don't know. I just feel like he's kind of hurting his stock a little bit.
do both of y'all think that put aside the antics and stuff, is he the number one pick? Talent alone?
Talent alone. I
Uh,
mean, I don't know. I mean, talent, dude, AJ's skill set is crazy, bro. Me personally, I would take him. I would take AJ number one. That's just me personally, but
Mm,
I'd I'd probably lean AJ, but it'd be really, really close.
okay.
for sure, I think the same.
I think
What
I've
about you, Steve?
I've kind of gone the opposite. I've been AJ all season, and I feel like I'm starting to lean more Darren Peterson at this point.
Is that
Yeah,
more
I think
what
he.
AJ's done or more what Darren's done?
More what Darren's done, honestly, in those like short, like it to me, like I'm not worried about the when he's not on the court. Like I'm not worried about when he's not on the court. All I care about is what is put in front
Yeah,
of me when he's on the court, and he produces 90% of the time. And I think my only knock with AJ is just the turnovers. Like I think we talked about like I
hmm
mean 7-8 turnovers a game, 7 for 24 shooting percentage in some games, like more often than Darren Peterson in those categories. Like that is my only drawback. But I don't know. I also like it's kind of less of like what one person is doing over the other, and it's just like man, like it's maybe just a preference. I don't know.
Steve, real quick, what happened to your boy Cole Rosario?
Man, I don't know what happened. That was my favorite player,
Your
and then
guy.
he is just out of the rotation. He must have slept with Coach Self's daughter or something like that. I don't know what is going on.
That was your guy.
I don't know what happened. All right, we'll move on for that. I want to talk about Texas Tech. Like, what is the outlook of this Texas Tech team with no JT Toppin? Like they were already as low as it gets with injuries and like depth chart and stuff like that. And then they pull out a great win. Um, no, my bad. I mixed up my dates. I thought that Arizona win was before JT Toppin, but they get the good win at Arizona with JT Toppin, and then they lose them the next game against Arizona State. Um, they don't have a crazy hard schedule the rest of the year at Iowa State and at BYU. They're your two hardest games, but I mean it because of their track record and stuff. They're probably going to get a good seed. Is this probably going to be the team that you pick to get upset first round?
Uh, you guys can go ahead on these because I know you guys are like the two biggest Red Raiders fans ever. So
Well,
dude,
I was.
yeah,
I was too. I mean, bro, JT Toppin. I watched him against Arizona. I think he has the most unstoppable shot in college basketball. I mean, that right shoulder, bro, is literally insane. I had them going. I mean, if they came out with JT Toppin, I had them going pretty deep. I mean, I love their chemistry and all that, but I definitely think their ceiling is. I mean, I couldn't even tell you who their backup is, honestly. I'm not gonna lie to you. So, but I mean, they look good against Kansas State. We'll see how they look against a hot Cincy team. So.
Hey,
Yeah, we'll see. Who knows about that? Alabama, man, up 8 spots. I think they came from unranked, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of one of those teams we talk about week after week where it's just like, they're always in and out. Like they always get 2 good wins and then 1 loss, and it kind of like they kind of always just float in that same like teens ranking. But Dill, they got 6 wins in a row against some good teams. Against Arkansas, that double overtime win. I mean, Darius Acuff had 49. Like, I mean, they did a great job finishing that game out. They're winning the games they're supposed to at Ole Miss, South Carolina, LSU, even picking up a great win at Auburn and Texas A&M. They got Mississippi State Wednesday night, and then Tennessee on Saturday. Do you think like this team is kind of back on the rise? I mean, they're kind of still competing for that regular season title.
yeah, I think Florida is it's their, I guess, title to lose. Alabama is, they're just, the nature of the beast is that they just are so inconsistent with some of these games that they have very very high peaks and also really really low valleys. I think that they're peaking at the right time, like I said earlier in this podcast. I think they're peaking at the right time. Can they stay consistent? That's the main question. Shout out to the game of the year. I think the Arkansas and Alabama game. What a fun game to watch. But yeah, this team was 4-4. They were 4-4 in the SEC. They lose one more game. I couldn't tell you the last time that Alabama had a losing record that deep into the season under Nate Oates. I don't think it's ever been done. So that would have been 9 games into the season they had a losing record. But since then, 6 wins in a row. Good wins. Like they're not bums. Auburn is a good win. A&M's a good win. Arkansas is a good win. And yeah, the next test will be Tennessee. I don't think they'll win that game. It's at Tennessee. If they finish the season 3-1, that's a success, man. Especially after starting 4-4 in SEC. So a team that I like a lot. Yeah, 3-1. I'm happy if I'm an Alabama fan and we go 13-5 in conference.
Yeah. Let's go 18-19. I'll ask both of you the same question. We'll start with Jarrett. North Carolina, BYU, 2 teams. Injuries have gotten the best of them as of late. If you're headed into March and these teams get similar seeded, like who do you trust more to give you a run? Like I give you $100 and I say you got to put it on one of their money lines to win their first 2 matchups. Like who you throwing it on?
So North Carolina or BYU, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm putting the house on BYU. I'm putting everything. I think obviously Caleb Wilson. I mean, I don't think it's like that big of an argument, but I think Caleb Wilson is definitely way more important to North Carolina than Richie is to BYU. Obviously, I mean, they have AJ and Rob Wright to help them, and I think it's going to be that BYU team is going to be like go as far as AJ carries them. So I am, even though I think North Carolina just won, but.
I mean,
Um,
and they'll get Caleb Wilson back at some point. Like he's gonna come
yeah.
back.
Um, yeah, I'll still take BYU though. I still really, really like them. I think AJ is gonna carry them far.
Yeah. Dill.
Yeah, if we take injuries into account, I would also go BYU. If we think that Caleb Wilson's coming back for the tournament, which I'm assuming he is, and we say that he is back for the tournament, I would go UNC. It's close. I would go UNC. I think Caleb Wilson is an absolute dog, and they're really missing him. That game when they were missing him and Vasar, I mean, they weren't even a top 40 team. They were really bad. So,
Dill, do I need to bring up the records, the clips? I need to put a little clip like right here of you saying BYU is cooked. You said that BYU is cooked.
I still think they're cooked. I still think they're cooked, man. Like I'm not. I am not. I was super high.
Okay, so Caleb Wilson is coming back. Like they said, he might be back for the Duke game, so he's coming back. Like he'll be back
Wow,
before the
really?
tournament. Yeah, it's his. I mean,
Wait,
it's his offhand.
broke his hand, right?
Yeah, his
He broke it
offhand.
though, right?
So
Yeah.
like, are you taking a full strength, maybe a 75% Caleb Wilson, or are you taking a BYU team with no Richie Saunders?
Yeah, UNC.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
How about you?
What would you take,
Uh,
Steve?
I'm probably going UNC. Like I said, like I think
Okay.
I don't think like that injury is going to affect Caleb Wilson a ton. Like I don't think that's gonna like it's like he's playing 50%. Like yeah, you might be 75% of that first couple of games back, but I think by the tournament he'll be fine. And yeah, I just don't know with this BYU team. Like I could be wrong, but I just don't think AJ is gonna go for 40 every single night to carry them to a win in the tournament.
I have one question.
Yep.
One question. How high scoring average do you think AJ finishes the year with? I
What is
think
he
he's
at
almost at
now?
20. I think he's at 20, almost 26, right?
25, 24.9. I think he definitely goes up from here. I think he'll probably. Well, I don't know, because at the same time, I could
I
also
mean, he
see him
hasn't.
like first round of the Big 12 tournament, like someone just like throwing a double team at him every single time, and him having like
Mhm.
12 points. So
Does he have any chance of getting National Player of the Year?
no, I don't think it. I don't think Cam Boozer has a possibility of
Okay.
losing it at this point.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
actually crazy. I think AJ can end up with. I think he could legitimately end up
20.
with 27 points a game at the end of the
Yeah,
season.
that's what I think too.
I wouldn't even consider him National Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah, not much to go against Cam Boozer there. I mean, bet number one team in the country, leading the.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what he is averaging points wise, but he's averaging. I mean, he's averaging 22 and a half. Like he's only 2 points behind him.
Yeah, I
Um,
wouldn't argue that.
all right, well, Miami, Ohio, 27-0. We talked a little bit about it last week. We kind of gave our opinions about what we think. Like me and if you didn't listen, Jarrett, me and Dill think that like they are not a top 25 team in the country. They are not at all. I gave my opinion that I think you got to show love to a mid
Mhm.
major that like AP polls a bunch of idiot voters who don't really watch basketball, in my opinion. So like, it's really a popularity contest. Like you got to give love. I don't mind them being 21 at 27-0. Do you think they deserve to be in the top 25?
21 is pretty high. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we all played mid-major basketball, like a really, really good mid-major in the SoCon. I mean, 27 and 0 is crazy. I mean, they have them going 30 and 0, 31 and 0. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not really too mad. I know, 21 is pretty high. Maybe keep them around that 23 to 25 range. But I mean, bro, I watched them against Bowling Green. I mean, they destroyed them. They're looking really good. I'm interested to see the matchup they get in the tournament and see if they can make a little runs. I'm also interested to see if they do go 31 and 0. If they do go 31 and 0, how high of a seed they can get, and if they lose before obviously their conference turn or like during the conference tournament, like what seed where they make the tournament basically.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point. I would be very curious to see if they did get in with one loss as an at large. Dill,
Yeah.
talking about the matchup and stuff, like what matchup would be a good matchup for Miami, Ohio if they got in the tournament? Like who's a team you could see them going against and being like, all right, like they have a chance against a higher ranked team, but just the play style matches up.
Yeah, I guess if we're going like if we project them at like 10 or 11, that means they're facing a 7 or a 6 seed. So uh Alabama, I could definitely see them upsetting in Alabama. It's just that the play style,
Yeah.
100% BYU, I can see them upsetting a BYU. We talked about that earlier, Steve. I agree with you on that stuff. Like, definitely see them upsetting a BYU. Maybe even like an Arkansas. I feel like Tennessee's overrated too. I don't know. There's a couple of teams that I can see them upsetting, but
Yeah.
maybe some of these high tempo, fast scoring offenses, I can see them upsetting.
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
gonna have their size is gonna be crucial. They're rebounding. They're gonna have to rebound the ball really well to keep up.
Yep. All right, we got 4 minutes left in our Zoom meeting. Let's run through this real quick. St. Louis, They had that loss at Rhode Island. Quick answers from both of you, Dylan. Still an easy at-large selection.
Easy,
Like, do you think
easy-ish.
they're a lock as an at-large?
No, but I think it's close.
Okay, Jarrett.
If they win out, if
Like, do
they
you
win
just
all
think
those
at
three
this
games.
point, at 25-2, with their what you
Oh,
think about this team?
uh,
Like, do you think like they're pretty much a lock to be an at-large?
Bill, what'd you say?
I said no, but it's close.
No. I'll probably agree with Dill. I'll agree with him.
Yeah.
I'll go with him.
We got Louisville, Vanderbilt, 24-25. I'll just start off with both of them. Man, like two teams kind of like hot early on in the season, really have cooled off as of late, especially Vanderbilt. At one point they were cracking the top 10. Now they're almost out of the top 25 completely. Um, do you think they're kind of like the opposite of peaking at the right time? Do you think they're kind of like sputtering out at the wrong time?
Yeah, their preseason schedule is really easy. I think it showed by the amount of wins they were getting and by the amount of points they were getting too. They're starting to struggle. Ken Palm still likes them. I'll hold on to I guess the computers are smarter than me fact, but yeah, they are. They're definitely not a top 2 or 3 team in the SEC. That's for sure.
Jarrett?
Yeah, I would agree too.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got some others receiving votes here. I could list them off, but I want to see, like, let me get a team from each of you. Start with Dylan. What team that is not in the top 25 would you like to see in the top 25?
Hey, if we're just giving shout outs to mid majors and we're just saying Miami used to be 70th and Ken Palm and get ranked, I'm letting Navy get in the top 25, man. At this point, who cares, bro? They're hot. They're like 15 games in a row. If Miami's in there, let's just throw Navy in there too. We'll call it good.
What about you, Jarrett?
Let me check. Utah. I'll go Utah State, man.
I think it's a
Go
good one.
Jared.
That was going to
Jared
be my pick,
Calhoun.
Utah State, man.
Yeah.
Um,
They just lost, but I'll still go Utah State, man.
got to give Texas A&M some love, man. 3 votes. That was my team. I was advocating for them
Yeah,
hard, and
A&M.
they
Yeah,
proceeded to
same here.
lose 5 or 6 straight.
Good pick. Love it.
Love it, love it. We have great picks over here at Room
Oh,
Report. But yeah, so
Shout out Iowa, man. They're gonna turn around this year. Watch.
We'll see.
turning around. The season's
Bennett's
almost
first
over.
dog.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Well,
Sick.
appreciate y'all listening in, man. Appreciate Jarrett coming on, talking with us, talking a little hoops. Expect to see some other guests coming on. Dill, you got anything before the Zoom runs out?
No, thanks for watching, guys. We always appreciate you.
Appreciate
Jared, thanks for
you,
joining
Jarrett.
on.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. Y'all appreciate it.
See you guys.